Hello there. Welcome to Verbling. I'm teacher Oakley, and today we'll begin the first in a three-part series looking at the CAE speaking test. This is an exam, the Cambridge English Advanced speaking exam. Many Europeans choose to take this exam. Usually this exam is taken by professionals who need the exam to maybe get a promotion or look for a different position in a company, or maybe just to put on their their CV or resume to get a better position. Generally, this is the purpose. It is administered by the same folks who bring you IELTS, so in regards to scoring and actually even the format of the test, it's similar but different. The chief difference between this and IELTS is that for this particular exam, you're taking the exam with another applicant, another student, if you will. So interacting with the other person is very important and part of the scoring rubric. So that's the chief difference, is that you're also being scored on how you interact with others. So hopefully over the course of the next 2 days I will be able to provide some exercise that will have you guys, the students here at Verbling, interacting with each other. That's my goal, anyway. Today, I'm introducing the test and maybe a little practice. Part one of the exam, the whole exam is about 15 minutes. Part one only lasts a couple minutes, and it's basically a little self-introduction and some very simple interviewer applicant question and answer. It's actually quite similar to part one in the IELTS exam, actually. Okay, before I go further, I suppose I should say hello and do a little microphone check. So, hello Heidi.
Hello, nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. Welcome to the class. Hello, Shell. Hi, Shell. Hi, Shell. How are you?
Good day, Oakley.
Okay. Good day to you. Hello. Sounds like your connection. Anyway, hopefully it'll be okay. Hello. She's gonna try again. Okay. Hi, Max.
Hello, hello.
Hello, welcome to the class. Hello, Khaled. How are you?
Yeah, hello, Clay. Hi. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good evening, good morning.
Whatever it is. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon
here. Yeah, okay. Thanks. Thank you. Good morning to you, and thanks for joining us. Hello, Tanya. How are you?
Hello. Hello.
Hi. Welcome to the class. And hello, Araceli. Hi, Araceli.
Hello, how are you?
I'm okay.
Thanks for scheduling the class.
Sure. Araceli has actually taken the exam before. Is that correct?
No, I plan to take it in 2 months, in March.
Oh, you have not taken it before then?
Yes, okay. I have taken the first certificate, which is easier. So it's the same kind of exam. That's why I have some experience, but I haven't taken CAE
okay.
yet. Sorry, I'm sleeping.
Okay. Good morning. Okay, well, you can assist me, although quite honestly, I have a really vast experience with IELTS. I have limited experience with CAE. So if I blunder or if I make a point that is not correct, you may know more about it than I do. I have been doing some research. I watched a number of videos of people taking the actual exam. Oh my gosh, those people look nervous.
Yes.
I
Well,
got
they change it every year, so it's very, but the basic is the same.
Okay, so yes, that's a very good point. Thank you for making that. So also to cover for my own ignorance, I may say that I've done a lot of research and I've noticed that clearly some things in the tests have changed. All of these tests, by the way, any of these tests, CAE, IELTS, TOEIC, TOEFL, will periodically change, innovate, change, everything from topics, of course, but also even the format. TOEFL's had changes, IELTS has had changes, so keep that in mind. Although the basic format for any of these exams is generally the same. Sometimes they change stuff. Be prepared for that. It's very true. Okay, the basic format though for CAE, there's 4 parts, but parts 3 and 4 are very closely related, I have to say. Part 1 is more like a general self-introduction and interview. Part 2 is where the applicants have to begin to interact with each other much more strongly. Now, interesting, I want to share something actually, right off the bat. I found some interesting information in this. Interesting because, makes me wonder, First of all, okay, generally, 2 people, or it could be more, possibly groups of 3, I suppose, if there's a rush of people taking the test. And you're in a room with actual people. In the IELTS test, you have 1 interviewer. In the CAE, there's an interviewer that does all the talking. And then there's some mean old troll that sits in the corner and listens to everything you say and writes things down so as to make you very nervous. I suppose. Not sure why that's necessary because it's all recorded, so why do you have to have somebody sitting over there making faces? I don't know. In any case, there's 2 examiners, an assessor and an interlocutor. The assessor, okay, is going to be scoring specific points, all right, tallying score to specific points. The interlocutor, the interviewer, will be also giving a global mark. So they'll be giving some kind of overall mark, I suppose. Now, an interesting point. I'm gonna share this because I watched interviewers and test takers. I watched a number of videos. All right, and in each case, I noticed that the applicants did not start to interact together until they were required to do so in part 2. In part 2, you're going to be looking at some pictures and then talking about them, some comparison and contrast notes, and a bit of discussion based on the photographs, the topic they're in, first by yourself to some degree and then with more prompting from the interviewer. And you should be interacting. Part 3, more abstract concepts, not physical pictures and things you can actually look at. It's just a little bit more abstract. Abstract ideas with opinions. Again, interacting with part 4 is basically the interviewer following up to the interaction and asking more in-depth opinion questions. Okay, I just had to share this with you because I found this interesting. Okay, you're going to be asked to talk about interest, general experience, studies or career, maybe plans for the future, these types of things. This is what we'll be doing today. General information about yourself. In other words, a little bit of self-introduction, which I want you guys to kind of practice a little bit today. Okay, the test takers will respond directly to the examiner's question. Avoid very short answers, similar to IELTS. All right, have something to say. It's as in IELTS, as in any of these tests. It's not about what you say, it's about how you say it. Now, this is important. You're taking it with another applicant. Part of the scoring, here's the chief difference between this exam and IELTS and TOEFL. You are being scored as to how you interact with your partner. So if you're just ignoring your partner, even in part one, I think that's going to be scored. You are not required to interact with your partner in this part, in part one. But this is what I found fascinating. You may do so if you wish. Why would you not? Since it's part of the scoring. Okay. All right. The examiner is going to simply introduce themselves. In any case, they'll ask for your names. What's your name? They'll ask for your score sheets. These are sheets that you're given, but you'll have to hand them to them. It's just simple protocol. This is how they do it. Okay. First of all, we'd like to know something about you. Now, they're going to prompt you. Where are you from? What do you do? Do you study or do you work? Okay, very much the same way they start off with an IELTS question. So I'd like to practice this with you guys a little bit, and then maybe about 15 minutes. Then I'd like to do some introduction exercises. Hi, Cornell.
Hi, Oakley. Hi, everybody. How are you today?
Hi. Good. How are you doing? Okay. Let's actually try just straight up a little self-introduction. Now they're going to give you direction. All right, fine. They're going to say, "Oh, so where are you from?" or "What do you do? Do you study or do you work?" I'm going to be a totally much broader. Shell, tell us a little bit about yourself. Later today, I'll be giving job interview questions. So
Okay.
very similar.
Hi.
Tell me something about yourself. Okay.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I am Shell from the Philippines. I am a student taking psychology, and I've been working in a corporate world for the past 10 years, but I shifted my career and now I am on my way to graduate and to finish my further studies.
Okay. Terrific. All right. That is that was great. Okay, a little bit about where you're from, which is going to be a typical lead-in question anyway, and what you do. Great. Thanks, Shell. That makes it very simple and very easy. Okay. I'm going to try a few of the other questions. Now, the interviewer will go from the introduction part, and then they'll ask you more questions about what you like to do, your interests, how you spend time, etc. So, for example, Max. Max, okay. How much time do you spend with your family?
Actually, this question hit home. I mean, I spend a lot of time at my workplace, and of course, I want to work much. Um, Not so. I don't want to work so much as I work today, but I have to earn money for my family to support my family, and yeah. Reflection to your question, I think I spent about it's a tough question. Maybe uh, half day with my family, but half of day I have to work. Maybe it's enough, maybe not. I don't know. I want to spend much more usually.
Okay. Okay. All right. Now, a quick comment. Very similar to IELTS. Same idea here. A good strategy, just as Shell broke her basic introduction into two parts, a little bit about where she's from, a little bit about her career path. Great. Breaking it into two parts. More kind of a direct question. How much time do you spend? That's quite a direct question. Max tried to break it down by saying, well, that hits home, by the way. That question hits home, not hit. It has to be plural.
Okay.
Idiomatic. An idiom there. That really hits home. And then he started talking about he has to spend time at work and he spends other time at home. So it's a good strategy to kind of break the question down to a couple different parts so you have, twice as much to talk about, because you are going to want to answer. One sentence answer is not good. You are going to want to answer with some detail. Max, I remind you, I spend about so much time, present tense. You slipped into past tense, but it can't be past tense because we're talking about what you currently do now. So I spend time, and usually the time clause that we might use, the time phrase, I spend about half the day or half of the day at work, and the other half
was
of the
awkward.
day.
I don't know what to say. How much I spent, really.
Yeah. Okay. Well, remember, any of these tests, TOEFL, IELTS, CAE. There's no one going to be checking your answers, so don't worry about the accuracy of your answers. It's completely irrelevant. So it doesn't matter. What you say is not actually the truth. It really doesn't make any difference. So don't worry about it too much. Again, I looked at preparing for the class. I looked at quite a few videos of people taking the test, and oh my God, the deer in the headlights, holding their hands like this on the desk in front of them, not gesturing, not moving, just speaking like this. I suppose I spend about half my time in the workplace and another half of my time at home. Wow, scary! I got scared. I after a while I had to go to bed and have bad dreams. It was terrifying, actually. think the idea is to be more natural. So don't worry overly much about the accuracy of your answers because that's not being scored. It doesn't matter. A little, especially since in this particular exam, interaction with you and the other person is an essential part of the scoring. I think doing a little gesturing, a little use of expletives. Well, okay. For the most part, I have to say, and I think it's perfectly okay to, as for this particular exam, to ask confirming questions, or say make confirming statements. Do you know what I mean? Can you? You probably know what I'm talking about, right? I'd like to spend more. I'm sure you would feel the same way, and talk to your partner and look at your partner and gesture. I think it's perfectly okay to do that. In fact, why not? It's being scored. Everybody I saw in these videos was just staring straight at the interviewer. Even during the interactive portion of the test, they're not looking at each other. They're staring at the interviewer with total fear in their faces. We look at people when we interact with them. It is, yeah, I found that frightening as I was watching the videos. That's not good. That can't be good. That can't help your score. Anyway, I know you're going to be very nervous, but think about that. All right, other such questions. Okay, Khaled. Khaled, what kind of, just to give you an idea of the follow-up questions they may be asking, that's what we're doing now. Khaled, what kind of art are you most interested in?
I'm interested in I'm not familiar with the arts. I consider myself as just I like some kind of art. When I travel, I like to see some historical places, some old building, Romance building, Greece buildings. So even when I was in USA, I saw a lot of places like Abraham Lincoln. But for music or other arts, I'm not so. I mean, I'm not fan with those arts, but I like some historical places, something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, interested in. I'm not sure if you said interesting in. It should be interested in.
Interested, yeah, interested. I'm interested in, yeah.
Okay. Now, of course, just as in IELTS, when you get these questions about, all right, ask Max about family, ask Colette about art. They're, in addition to other things, verb tenses, etc., they're also interested in vocabulary. So, all right, Khaled, you're interested in, okay, buildings, like, for example, buildings in Greece when you were there. All right, what is the art form? All right.
Architecture or not?
There you go. That's it.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you're right, yeah.
All right, so for sure, they would be looking for you to, to mention architecture. I am interested in architecture. Okay, a fan of, not a fan with, but a fan of.
Fan of.
Okay. Okay. I'm not such a fan of music and other forms of performance art. Okay, you could talk about, for example. Uh, so, okay, a little more, I might suggest a little more topic-related vocabulary. Is it it's okay to say, okay, I'm not such a fan of things, but then you have to explain. I have to tell you, it's always easier to say that you do like something than you don't like something, but because then you have to explain. And anyway, even if actually it doesn't matter. If I like it or I don't like it, you should be talking about why.
Mhm.
One thing I noticed in these tests, and this CAE and IELTS, they'll say, what do you like or what do you not like? And they'll ask you, I mean, what you like or what you don't like, and then they'll say why. If you don't bother to tell them why, they're going to ask you anyway, so you might as well tell them why. Or if you're going negative, why not? Okay. So, you know, a follow-up question. What they generally do is they'll ask one person a question, and maybe I would hear something like this, and I'd say, Khaled, why do you, is there anything particular you don't like about music?
No, there's nothing, but you know, there is something related to Islam rules. Yes, traditionalism. We are not allowed to listen to music. So I'm consider myself as mm, uh, I'm a punctual guy with the Islam rules. So when I was child, just listening to Al Quran. So, but now it's that doesn't mean it's I'm not listening to music. But I'm not. When I was child, I'm not interested to music. So when I grow up, I keep it in the same way. So it's maybe related uh, to the family, to the environment, culture, you know.
Hmm.
Especially, you know, some music, it's even, I feel that is, you know, some noisy music like rock. I don't know, I'm not familiar with the type of music, but some of them, it's make me crazy, you know, it's a lot of noise. So, but you know, some music it's okay, classic or slowly music. I maybe I can hear, but another one it's difficult to me even to. I feel like I will be like the people. They are very crazy, and when
Okay.
they listen to the music,
Right.
yeah,
Slow music. Not
slow
slow.
music, yes,
Yeah, okay.
yeah, slow music, yeah.
Uh,
I said, yeah.
all right. Um,
Classic like jazz music, jazz or something like this. I know
and I don't,
I'm not sure there's if I think jazz music is classical slow music, right?
I don't know. Jazz is kind of something in between.
Uh-huh.
Combines elements of classical music, and there's so many different kinds of jazz, to tell you the truth. Um, Progressive jazz, Dixieland jazz, classic jazz. So that's difficult. Some of it's closer to classical, some of it's closer to rock and roll or rhythm and blues. So tough question
Uh-huh.
to answer because
Okay.
it's kind of wider. Now I think you said, I could be wrong. I think I heard you say that you are punctual. Um, you're punctual when it comes to your religious beliefs, but you don't mean. Is that what you said? I might be wrong. I may have misheard you. Um, you would punctual means on time, but I think what you're trying to say, you are strict in your beliefs.
Yeah, strict, yeah. Strict,
That would be a
yeah.
better way to say it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Punctual, it's more related to time or
It's
yes.
only related to time.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Mhm.
Um, Not to any kind of content or anything.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, only time. Okay. See, well, now that was a better answer. A little bit more natural and fluent. Okay. Um, okay. Apparently, Cornell's child likes your voice. Go ahead.
Yes.
Great.
It's me. I'm still baby maybe.
Yeah. So,
We are
if
in the same level.
you take the exam and a baby score you, you should do well. That's,
Yeah.
yeah, you have that going for you. All right. Okay. One thing, Araceli, I'm going to go to you now. One thing I'm noticing with all the practice questions I've seen for part one, unlike IELTS, where usually they reserve opinion questions for part three in the IELTS exam, the the CAE exam mixes in all kinds of questions, just information questions and opinion questions in part one. So, okay, you should be kind of prepared for that. First, after the introductory phrase, that is, once they move to other topics, looks like it could be anything. Description, opinion, short answer, preference questions. It really, honestly, looks like you should be prepared for anything and everything.
Yes, I
Okay.
think the difference with IELTS, for example, is that the questions are not so hard. So it's like they're going to ask you about your friends, your hobbies, things that are not very complicated. I find IELTS the questions sometimes really challenging to have to you have to think
Mm,
about them a lot, and these questions are not so difficult. So it's like kind of an
right,
introduction about yourself.
right. Well, it seems like part one is just to get the person relaxed and talking,
Yes,
really,
yes.
which is good.
If they
But my point, yes, I would agree with you in everything that I watched or looked at during doing research. The questions are generally easier, but in a way, they're not easier because in IELTS you simply very rarely get opinion questions in part one. Um, Rarely get comparative questions, preference questions, or you never get problem solution questions. But in part three, you don't get information questions, you get opinion questions. Anyway, it's divided up differently. That's my point. Um, okay, Araceli, practice question. Do you prefer team sports or individual sports?
That's a good question. I think that depends on the person, but personally, I would prefer team games because they give you the opportunity to interact with other people. But sometimes, for example, in competitive sports, I don't like to take part in them because I'm not very good at sport. So sometimes I prefer to train on my own, for example, in the gym, in order not to have to compete with other people, as I think I'm not going to win. But anyway, I think we should practice games and sports for the fun, just for the fun of it. So any of these will be okay for me.
Okay. Um, any of the, all right.
Uh, bad
Pretty good.
ending, I know.
Oh, yeah, it's a pretty good. That's a very good answer. I didn't really notice anything particularly wrong with that. And as far as length, it seems to be good. Um, one thing I was not able to see was does the was as I was watching videos, the interviewers never interrupted or stopped an applicant because the applicants always. I didn't see any applicant really try to talk, keep talking like forever. They all kind of trailed off. I wonder.
But they do. They do.
They do.
The
They must
the
have to.
examiner says like very politely says thank you in the middle of your speech and says so
Uh,
so they are looking at the time and if you are very talkative, they say in the middle of
They
our
would have to.
sentence, thank you. Now, blah blah blah, like that.
Right.
So it's.
Right. They would have to.
I,
They can't let somebody take over the exam. So yes, I'm sure
I
they
I
must.
think in the videos the people are just trained for this length of speaking. So as an
Maybe.
example, but probably
Yeah.
in real life
They would
some of
have
them
to.
are talkative.
That's what I was just going to say. I didn't see it in any of the videos, but they have to. They would have to do that, which I would have to guess is not. You don't lose points for that. Again, I'm going to have to assume that there's no way to talk too much in this exam because you have a human being that can tell you to shut up if they want you to stop talking. Unlike a TOEFL exam where the clock runs out after a minute and you're not going to be recorded, so talking longer than a minute is kind of pointless because everything's recorded by machine. Okay. All right. That was very good. Cornell, let me try a question for you. Cornell, since you've got a job interview tomorrow, I'll ask
Yes.
you. By the way, I'm doing a couple job interview classes in when this class ends 2 hours later, if you can make it. But since you're practicing for that anyway, tell me a little something about your work, Cornell, please.
It is very interesting. It would be very interesting because I am between jobs at the moment, so I have no any job. But I can tell you something about my previous job.
Perfect.
Yeah, okay. I was working for Spot of Hungary Ltd. It is a German automotive suppliers. Headquarters of Spot of are in Werther, Germany. There are 15 plants in the world. One of them is Hungarian plant. Number of employee of Spot of Hungary Ltd. is over 500. Main products of Spot of Hungary Ltd. Are so-called camera systems, including real end injectors, and main customers of Spot of Hungary Ltd. are Cummins, TRW, and I don't know the third one from US, Scania from Sweden, Delphi from UK, and Renault Nissan from France, Gaz from Russia, and BMW, Opel, Daimler, and Audi from Germany. I had two directions inside purchasing at Spot of Hungary Ltd. Project purchasing and indirect purchasing. Firstly, let me introduce indirect purchasing. I was in charge of purchasing machines, tools, commodities, goods, services, and everything for each department which are not direct material. I also took part in selecting and deciding new suppliers and negotiation about competitive price. I am very proud of taking part in setting up a new manufacturing line at Ajka plant. Ajka is a city of Hungary. And I also participated in packaging management to provide proper disposable, returnable packaging material for new project for launching a new product. I would like to point out that stackability is also very important to reduce the freight rate according to customers' logistics requirements. Yeah, that's all. I wouldn't like to continue because it is very long. Yeah, my duties. Yeah, so
Cornell.
I can speak a lot about my previous work experience, but it is really huge. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. advice for both CAE and your actual job interview. Slow down. Slow down. You obviously know the material, clearly. You have prepared. You obviously know the material. You're not going to prove to me you know the material, you know what you're talking about by talking fast. Slow down a little bit.
Hmm?
Slow down. It is very obvious that you memorize this material for two reasons, because you're saying it very fast, faster than normal conversation. Just calm down. Even in maybe even especially in a job interview. But one of the things I said about the CAE even is that I couldn't. It drove me crazy how uptight people were when they're speaking. Relaxed. Speak more relaxed. You have a better rhythm and fluency. Yeah, we've had plenty of classes, Cornell. I know you have a good English fluency and rhythm and pacing. Don't go through things like you've memorized it, like it's some passage in a book you memorized. This is your life. You should sound like it's your life. Both? Really? You're a fast talker? Well, actually, advice, not just job interviews, CAE, anything like this, any public speaking or testing, speaking, and not just English, actually, even in your native tongue. You really have to consciously, before you begin, actually think to yourself, okay, I've got to talk, I've got to go speak, I've got to do this, I've got to nail it, I've got to cognizantly, and I've got to concentrate on slowing down a little bit. The fact is, regardless of your normal rate of speech, when you're nervous, you speed up. I do. You do, everyone I know does, well, with very few exceptions. I suppose there are exceptions. But most of us human beings, we get a little nervous or excited, we speak faster. Take a couple breaths and realize you've got to slow down. Another result of your going so fast, Cornell, is that you end up with the exact same intonation pattern over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
And believe it or not, that gets very hard to follow because you're not singing me a hit song. You're giving me information. So I start to concentrate on your rhythm and not what you're saying. I start to forget about listening to what you're saying, and I'm just listening to the rhythm. If you just slow down a little, that will take care of that. And I thought you were going to fall down. I thought you were suddenly going to stop talking because you were going to pass out because you weren't even putting spaces for commas and periods. So English rhythm is not just about the speaking, it's also about the pauses as well. Yeah, and Khaled actually has a good point here. The important thing is the important things. Not a quantity of information, but a quality of information. So instead of trying to list as many things as possible, I agree with Colette on this point. Instead of doing that, use your intonation to help yourself point out what are some really, like, okay, you did it a little bit, I'll give you that. The part where you were saying, I'm very proud of the fact that I helped to open or initiate a new product line. Really, you know what? To tell you the truth, that's the only part I actually remember from everything you said. Auto parts, and he helped open a new product line. And actually, that was the most important part.
Sorry, I took part in setting up a new manufacturing line.
Yeah,
in Hungary, from purchasing side.
And that's the only thing I remember about what you just said. Because it's the important part. Important for you, important for me.
It is one of the most important duties.
Yeah, well, absolutely. And it's important for a new employer. And I'm talking to Cornell because I know he's preparing for a job interview. But in reality, for CAE as well, when you're making points that are more important to you, then you're going to use stronger intonation, higher pitch, more stretched vowels. And so it is equally valid. Many of the skills for job interview are the same skills as in these speaking tests, frankly. It's really not that far off. They're extremely, the goals are obviously different, but, and you're not so concerned in a job interview about having layers of and varieties of sentence structure. Obviously, that's not as important, but yeah. Colette, is there a point that you would like to make?
No, I'm just for the Cornell. He mentioned very good points. So he just want. I mean, he need to focus in this point and give more time. I mean, gives a little details about this project or this initiative to explain to them. It's it's in the interview especially. Even when you mention something, it should be related to the job, to the position. And I mean, maybe you mentioned some example that and give some details about this example to be more stronger, to be more strong for them. Yeah.
All right.
I think Cornell is. I believe that Cornell he has very good experience, but he need maybe to organize himself and, as you mentioned, talk slowly and because he is he's very strong. I believe in his career or in his field, but sometimes. You will miss the job because maybe you just talk without any strong idea or valid points.
Yeah. Wow, it's not quantity, it's quality. And
Quality,
really, the same thing goes for these exams as well. Okay, I like to move on and try a little exercise here. Okay. Sympathy. Funny. Okay, I'd like to try a little exercise here. I would like you guys to introduce yourselves to each other. But furthermore, actually, in doing so, I'd like you to ask questions to each other. You're welcome, Cornell. Okay, hang on, I'm going to do a screen share here. Okay, Shell, are you? I noticed you bounced in and out. Are you well connected? Are you well connected? Do you have a good connection?
I hope.
Okay, you sound good. All right.
Connection is
Okay.
okay. Great.
Yeah. All right. I made myself kind of laugh when I asked if you're well connected, because of course in English that has a very specific idiomatic meaning. Meaning, if I ask Shell if she's well connected, I mean, does she know politicians or CEOs of big companies? Do you know powerful people? Really, I just meant is your connection, is your internet connection strong? Not that, but anyway. Okay, Shell, I would like you to maybe talk to Max. And maybe, how would you ask him about some of these topics? Well, okay, let's start with the first one. All right, imagine that you're being introduced. Okay, Shell, this is Max, Shell.
Nice to meet you.
Very nice.
It's fantastic to meet you, Max. So, Max, what do you do?
Okay, what do you do?
Do you work or are you currently studying?
I work as an engineer.
Okay.
My main duty is to fix laptops, repair laptops, and yeah.
Okay.
This is an amazing job. I very love this job. Okay.
Okay, and ask Shell. Max now asks Shell something about herself.
Um, nothing comes. How long have you been living in Philippines?
Okay.
I am a native Filipina.
Okay, nice. Thank you.
I was born here.
Okay. All right. Starting out very simply. Okay. I'm going to do something a little different. Shell, I want you to tell Khaled what Max said. Report, in other words. Just give me a quick
Oh,
sentence. Yeah.
all right. Khaled, this is Max. He is an engineer and he works primarily to fix computers and programs. Is that what you said, Max?
Good. Ah, I like that. Is that what you said, Max? She's asking for confirmation. Okay, I actually like that. See, I'm doing that because of this exam, the CAE exam. You're taking it together. This is what I kind of want to hear. I want to hear if you guys are actually confirming information with each other, which is part of interaction, especially in English. Okay. All right. I love what do you do? Okay, very, very native English speaker. This is how we. I'm surprised you know that, Shell. Yeah, Americans especially, but Brits, when we want to ask about a job, that's how we do it. What do you do? And often with so, what do you do? That kind of intonation. Max, you don't very love. Can't use very in front of a verb. So I really love.
Okay.
We just had a class about very earlier.
Yeah. And I win in a miss game.
You didn't very pay attention. Okay, can't use very before pay attention. Okay, anyway, just picking on Max. Okay. Hi, Nader, by the way. Uh, okay, I like that. Is that what you said? Okay, let's Khaled and Araceli. All right, Khaled, briefly introduce yourself and ask Araceli a question about maybe one of these topics, maybe something else you have on your mind.
Okay. Hi, Arteli. I'm
Hi.
Khalid. Hi, I'm Khalid Gammu. I'm from Libya. I'm living in Libya now, in Tripoli, the capital city of Libya. I'm working in telecommunication ministry as a telecom technical advisor for the minister. I have been working in this field since 2000 when I just graduated from the university. And I would like to ask you about what do you do in your leisure time? What's your
Well,
activities? Yeah.
well, I have to tell you, I have a few free days. So because I work and I'm also a mother, so I'm very busy. But whenever I have free days or free time, the weekends or maybe during the holidays, I like to spend time with my family. Especially, I love to make outdoor activities, for example, hiking, visiting different places and enjoying nature with my family. Yes, being together.
Okay, yeah, you like in your leisure time to spend maybe the whole day or a lot of the day of your time in the outside, I mean, the house or.
Yes, I do because I think for my work, I spend most of the day in a building at home, or uh, either I'm working at home or I'm
Yeah.
at school.
Yeah,
So
I think
it's for
we
us.
are in the same. We are. I agree with you. Also, I like to be in. I mean, doing some exercise, some hang out with some people in my free time. Yeah, yeah, we need to
Okay.
do it.
All right.
Okay,
All right. All right.
thank
Very,
you.
very good. I have to give you a little feedback. Okay. To ask about what you do in your leisure time. Okay. Nothing wrong with the way that you asked. What do you like to do in your leisure time? That's fine. More natural way to do it might be, so what do you do for fun? What do you okay, or what do you like to do in your free time? Is free time is very common. Uh, Arteli, you answered I have a few free days.
Yeah, I didn't know how to say that. It's
Okay,
I. How do you say? I have
yeah.
few time? No, I don't have too much time. Maybe I don't know.
Well,
I
let
just
me tell you.
froze.
A few free days. Okay, you have 3 or 4 days. You have something you can do. Okay. But if you could say I have few free days with no article, okay?
Okay.
And that would mean in general, you don't have that much free time, okay? Get rid of the article. That's how you do it.
Hmm.
All right.
Okay.
Um, I don't have much free time, or I have few free days, really, because, and then you said your reasons. Also, you do activities, you don't make activities.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay.
I like to
I
do
always
outdoor
doubt
activities.
between do and make, so it's a
Yeah.
common mistake for me.
Mm-hmm. Uh, okay, and Khaled, in the we don't normally say in the you like to spend time in the outside, but in the outdoors is perfectly okay. In in out, it's confusing.
Outdoor.
For some reason, we don't normally say in the outside. We just say outside. You like to spend time outside, or
Mm-hmm.
it's actually clearer and it's more understandable to say you like to spend time in the outdoors. That means
Mm-hmm.
outside. Okay,
Okay,
Colette,
okay.
I also liked how you confirmed and agreed. Good. We're going to be doing a whole lot more of this in tomorrow's class, by the way. Doing more interactive stuff, which is what we need. Um, what, I really want to practice. We'll be doing a lot more of that tomorrow. Yeah, Nader is absolutely correct. You can make activities. That's if you're designing it for. Oh, you're asking. Okay, I'm answering. You can make activities. That is actually, you're absolutely correct. If you are designing and setting them up for other people to enjoy, then you are making them. You make rides. You make a roller coaster ride, but you do a roller coaster ride or go on a roller coaster ride. Right. You make it, then you're the designer. That's it. Exactly. Well, shoot. We've run out of time. I'd like to do a lot more of this interactive stuff. Well, I'm going to have to save it for tomorrow because I got to go. Sorry. Tomorrow, please join me again. We'll be using pictures to help us do a lot more interactive with the students. So, you got to bring home the bacon. Okay. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Okay. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye
Thank you.
bye.
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 Bye. Bye.
Okay. Bye.